Hi, my name is Mike Rowe from Addiction Prevention Strategies, and we really appreciate the opportunity to talk with you about a very unique program that was actually started years ago by my father. My dad was a top executive at IBM Corporation, very successful, but my father also was an alcoholic. And in 1980, he found recovery, and for 15 years, he was working and living a recovery program. And in the year 16 of his recovery, he actually created this business, Addiction Prevention Strategies. My dad had a passion for working with and helping people. And he worked with people and he helped people like his life depended on it. And that's really where this business of Addiction Prevention Strategies was birthed from. He also worked with a lot of businesses and saw an unbelievable opportunity to educate employees and supervisors about the disease of addiction, how it was affecting not only their personal lives, but their family lives. And he also did a very unique family program that worked with family members that might have a loved one that's struggling with addiction. About a year ago, I took over the business of Addiction Prevention Strategies, and we began to connect with many of the businesses that my father started with this education program. We're currently now working with many businesses and also churches and synagogues. And what's unique about what we do is we provide a very unique, interventive, quality type program that gets people in our educational classes to self-seek and self-identify. What we have found out in our research is that with business and industry, the companies typically have an EAP provider, but less than 3% of the people that are struggling with addiction are actually using the resources that are available to them. Statistically, we know that in any company across the board, 30% of the employees in that company are affected by the disease of addiction. Either they're having their own personal struggle with addiction, or they have a family member or a loved one that's struggling. That 30%, those employees are coming to work trying to do their jobs, and their job performance is drastically affected. In fact, the National Chamber of Commerce estimates that those employees that are affected by addiction are actually working at 2/3 of what is to be considered normal productivity. That means 1/3 of the productivity that the company is paying for is lost money. That does not even include the effects that it has on insurance claims, workers' compensation claims, absenteeism, problems with supervisors, problems with other employees. So we know that this problem drastically affects the workplace, and it's costing companies a tremendous amount of money. What Addiction Prevention Strategies does, we are the missing piece, the conduit, if you will, between the employee that's struggling with addiction and the EAP, or the human resources provider. In connecting with these employees, our program does three things. We educate, we encourage, and then we connect. So the whole crux of what we do is we get these employees through our education to self-search and self-identify, and then we encourage them to use the resources that are available through the EAP. What makes us unique also is that all of our facilitators have had their own personal experience with the pain and the struggle with addiction, and also long-term success and history with recovery. And one of the first things that the facilitators will do is they'll share with the employees their own personal story, what their life was like, what happened, and what their life is like today. Through that, and the education, the way that it's written, has an interventive quality to it, we have been able to increase the penetration rate to the EAP as much as 8%. These employees are voluntarily seeking help, and through the EAP, they're using the resources that are available to them.